Hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Hatred confuses life. Love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life. Love illuminates it. The choice is not between violence and non-violence, but between non-violence and non-existence. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy to a friend. We must rapidly begin the shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society. When machines and computers, profit motives and property rights are considered more important than people, the giant triplets of racism, materialism, and militarism are incapable of being conquered. Power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. It comes to see that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly, affects all indirectly. Another way that you love your enemy is this. When the opportunity presents itself for you to defeat your enemy, that is the time which you must not do it. There will come a time, in many instances, when the person who hates you most, the person who has misused you most, the person who has gossiped about you most, the person who has spread false rumors about you most, there will come a time when you will have an opportunity to defeat that person. It might be in terms of a recommendation for a job, it might be in terms of helping that person to make some move in life. That's the time you must do it. That is the meaning of love. In the final analysis, love is not this sentimental something that we talk about. It's not merely an emotional something. Love is creative, understanding goodwill for all men. It is the refusal to defeat any individual. When you rise to the level of love, of its great beauty and power, you seek only to defeat evil systems. Individuals who happen to be caught up in that system, you love, but you seek to defeat the system. Now there is a final reason I think that Jesus says, love your enemies. It is this. That love has within it a redemptive power. And there is a power there that eventually transforms individuals. Just keep being friendly to that person. Just keep loving them, and they can't stand it too long. Oh, they react in many ways in the beginning. They react with guilt feelings, and sometimes they'll hate you a little more at that transition period, but just keep loving them. And by the power of your love they will break down under the load. That's love, you see. It is redemptive, and this is why Jesus says love. There's something about love that builds up and is creative. There is something about hate that tears down and is destructive. So love your enemies. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. I have decided to stick to love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Faith is taking the first step, even when you can't see the whole staircase. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. But I know, somehow, that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace. A soul generated by love. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. A man who won't die for something is not fit to live. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as a Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, "Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well." We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Those who are not looking for happiness are the most likely to find it, because those who are searching forget that the surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. I have a dream that one day little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls. As my sufferings mounted, I soon realized that there were 2 ways in which I could respond to my situation, either to react with bitterness or seek to transform the suffering into a creative force. I decided to follow the latter course. Science investigates, religion interprets. Science gives man knowledge, which is power. Religion gives man wisdom, which is control. Science deals mainly with facts. Religion deals mainly with values. The 2 are not rivals. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools. No person has the right to reign on your dreams. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual doom. Not only will we have to repent for the sins of bad people, but we also will have to repent for the appalling silence of good people. The time is always right to do the right thing. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? The first question which the priest and the Levite asked was, if I stop to help this man, what will happen to me? But the Good Samaritan reversed the question, if I do not stop to help this man, what will happen to him? Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. Wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way.